All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to beautiful Sam Houston State University. Scott Matthiesen here for Houston Sports Live on today's pregame show. Contest getting ready to start here in about 9 minutes. Umpires are meeting here at home plate tonight. Beautiful stadium here. Great weather. Not much wind. The flags are blowing slightly out to left field today. Hopefully everything is coming through well. I know we've got a little glare on our feed, but the sun will be going down soon and we'll be able to clear that up for y'all. Again, Sam Houston State University for Texas 6A third round playoffs. This is the regional semifinal. Game 1 tonight between the Grand Oaks Grizzlies and the Rockwall Yellowjackets. Both teams entering the contest here tonight at Sam. Game 1 looking to get that jump up on the other and move on to the region finals. District 13 is showing very well as of tonight. We still have 3 of the 4 teams in round 3 in the regional semifinals. Grand Oaks, of course, here, and Woodlands, the Highlanders, are fighting to get on to the next round, and as well as the Willis Wildcats. So, unfortunately, our district champions did take one on the chin. They, what a great season for Coach Pierce over there and the Oak Ridge War Eagles to go undefeated in district. And then what do you get after a first round win? You get to play the Tomball Cougars. Unfortunately, they ran into a buzzsaw. Great season for Coach Pierce and all my friends and family and loved ones we have playing over there. Of course, myself, most of y'all know I'm a College Park homer myself, but love the district and love Conroe ISD. And Tomball is just such a great team for the last several years. So congratulations, Coach Pierce, on a great season, and congratulations to Grand Oaks here and Coach Farrell and the plate meeting tonight. Getting ready to take on these, hey, Rockwall Yellowjackets are something to talk about as well. They are always, perennial playoff team coming up to this district level. So we're in for a good matchup tonight, and we thank you for joining us tonight on Houston Sports Live. And we'll be back in just a moment after this message. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here, and we are going to turn over to the field mic here as the teams are on the sideline, lining up first and base sideline for our national anthem.
Let's play ball.
All right, what a great rendition of the national anthem honoring America as the clubs head back to their respective dugouts. Real quick let's give the starting lineup for Rockwall. Batting first, number 14, is the catcher, Jake Ursay. Batting second, number 12. Pitching tonight, Hudson Holt. I believe he's in the lineup as well per the card. Batting 3, number 6, the shortstop, Dylan Cheek. Batting 4th, number 24, third baseman, Brent Sellis. Batting 5th, the designated hitter, number 5, Case Cavan. Batting 6th, number 15, second baseman, A.J. Newby. Batting 7th, number 11, left fielder, Reed Overstreet. Batting 8th, number 22, the first baseman, Zach Barnes. Batting 9th, number 16, right fielder, Brock Shusay. And batting 10th, number 13, the center fielder, Parker Liminek. For your Grand Oaks Grizzlies, batting first, number 5, left fielder Colin Wilson. Batting second, number 20, Harper Seaman, left fielder. Batting third, designated hitter, number 8, Andrew Clayton. Batting fourth, number 9, your catcher for Grand Oaks tonight, Owen Eastwood. Batting sixth, Brady Freitas, second baseman. Batting seventh, number 6, your shortstop, Sebastian Segura. Batting 8, number 16, Hector Francia Linares. He's your third baseman tonight. And batting 9th, number 3, center fielder Colton Talley. On the bump tonight for Grand Oaks, starting is number 19, Drew Johnson. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our pregame playoff show here. And we're going to slide over to our main bug and get you up on the scoreboard here. As Hudson Holt is taking his warm-up pitches tonight, starting on the bump for the Yellowjackets, and then on the on-deck circle, getting ready to step in for first pitch here, is going to be Colin Wilson leading it off for Grand Oaks. Again, Scott Matthiesen on the call here for Texas 6A playoff baseball. Round 3 here at Sam Houston State. Rockwall Yellowjackets versus the Grand Oaks Grizzlies, as Coach Farrell makes his way out of the dugout, jogging down to the third baseline, and Colin Wilson with a raucous crowd here. Grand Oaks showing up very well. They filled the visiting stands here very well, and Wilson is going to step in to take the first pitch tonight. That pitch is swung on and fouled away. 0-1 the count here to Wilson. Good cut on that one. That ball is outside. 1-1 the count. Wilson looks for a good hitter's pitch here. Holt in the windup. That one's fouled straight back also. 1-2 the count. One and two the count. Pitcher set. Here it comes. The delivery's outside. Wilson equals the count up here. 2-2. Getting some good looks here. 2 good pitches. Fouled off too high and away. Here we come with the third. That one's swung on down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. And the ball gets past the left fielder to the wall, and Wilson's into second standing up with a leadoff double. Wilson doubles down the left field line to lead it off here for Grand Oaks. Great start for the Grizzlies. Now we've got Wilson in scoring position, and up to bat is number 20. That's Harper Seaman. He's playing left field tonight. We'll see if Coach Farrell's got any movement on maybe a bunt, hit and run. That pitch is in there for a strike. Oh, 1 the count. Pitch on the way, that's outside. 1-1 the count to Seaman. Harper's looking to get this runner either over to third or score him here on a single with no outs in the top of the first. Pitch on the way. That ball's in there. Curveball gets in there for a strike. Good off-speed pitch there from Holt. I think Harper was looking fastball there. Didn't want to offer at that one. Here's the pitch from Holt. Curveballs hit to the shortstop. Plays it on one hop across and holds Wilson at second base. So Semin goes 6-3 for the first out. And that's going to bring up Andrew Clayton, a designated hitter today. So probably the worst possible place you can hit the ball. They're the right to third baseman as well. Looking to get it over to the right side to move that runner over. So now we have one out. Here comes Clayton. He digs in the right side, and the pitch from Holt. Curveball in there for a strike. Good off-speed pitch right there to start Clayton. Oh, 0-1 the count here. Grizzlies looking to get something going here right in the top of the first. First inning, first game of the series against the Yellowjackets. Holt set, looks back at second in the delivery. Curveball just on the outside corner. Oh, 0-2 the count here to Clayton. Looking to move Wilson over into third with maybe one out here. That pitch is outside. Looking for him to chase. Clayton, good plate discipline there. Hudson Holt gets this sign from his catcher. Comes set, takes a peek back at second. The throwback. Oh, almost in time. Great dive back by Wilson. That was a great move. Looked like they might have had him leaning just a little bit, but Wilson makes some great speed there, makeup speed to get back to second base. Comes set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Another curveball off speed.
Here's up the first baseman, number 24, Colin Martin.
So now we have two outs, runner at second base. That's going to bring up number 24, Colin Martin. Martin steps in here now with two outs in the top of the first. Runner at second base. Looking to get that two-out single. Holt comes set. Here's a delivery. Off speed in there again. It's hitting that outside corner very well in this first inning here. Here comes the pitch from Holt. That's outside. Gets away from the catcher. Wilson's going to take third. Just squibbled away up the third baseline. Just a little bit on the pitch. And Wilson gets third on the advance. So he's at third with two outs here. Now an easy single scores him for sure. Now we're talking about maybe a pass ball or wild pitch. Get that first run on board. Here's the pitch from Holt. Curveball's hit to the right side. The second baseman makes a great diving play. That was Newby over there at second base. So Martin L4, if you're keeping score at home, for the third out. So the Grizzlies strand one at third base after Wilson's leadoff double. Yellowjackets get out of trouble here. No runs, one hit, no errors. And after one half inning, we're scoreless here at Sam Houston State. And we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Texas 6A Playoff Baseball Round 3. So this is Region Semifinals. We're at Sam Houston State here tonight for Game 1. We've got the Rockwall Yellowjackets at 24-9-2 versus your Grand Oaks Grizzlies, 22-15-3. Moving to the bottom of the first inning. No score on one hit for the Grizzlies in the top of the first. Jake Ursey will lead off for the Yellowjackets, number 14. Drew Johnson pitching tonight on the bump, gets the start, and of course Owen Eastwood, his catchmate. Let's see if we can get a 1-2-3 inning here for the Grizzlies in the bottom of the first. Johnson comes set. Here's the delivery. Swung on and fouled straight back. Oh, 1 the count. Ursey steps in from the left-hand side, digs in. Here's the pitch on the way. Just low and out of the zone. 1-1 the count. Grand Oaks has a pretty big student section here. I think their whole entire JV team is here. That pitch is fouled back, straight back into the netting. Johnson goes up 1-2 here on Ursey. He's the catcher for the Yellowjackets, number 14. Batting from the left-hand side here, opening the contest in the top of the, or check that, the bottom of the first for Rockwall. Johnson comes set, swung on, fouled down the first baseline. One and two the count here to Ursey. Ursey digs back in, left-handed batter's box, takes a couple practice swings, deep breath. Eastwood gets his guy the sign. The pitch on the way is on, oh, just outside. Looked pretty good from up here. Ball squibbles away from Eastwood up the third baseline. No problem, no issues, nobody on base. 2-2 the count now to the leadoff man for the Yellowjackets. Johnson comes set. Here's the delivery. Just down and in. That's going to load it up here. Full count for the leadoff man, number 14, Jake Ursey. So 3-2 here for the leadoff man for the Yellowjackets. Johnson comes set. Delivery's on the way. It swung on, just foul down the first baseline. Good hands there by the Yellowjacket first base coach. Another foul ball. Working some pitch count here. 6 pitches so far to Ursey here in the top inning for the Yellowjackets. Bottom of the first, no score. Grizzlies got their leadoff man on and stranded him at third. Pitch on the way is fouled back again. Ursey's spoiling some pretty good pitches here from Johnson. Digs back in. Currently, this will be the 8th pitch to the leadoff man. Johnson gets a sign from Eastwood and comes set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted, and that's going to go foul out of play down the third baseline. Looks like they may have room, and they do. It drifts back into foul territory, just on the foul line. And the third baseman makes a great catch. That's Hector Francia Linares on the pop foul for the first out. 8-pitch at bat there for the foul pop out down the third baseline. That's going to bring up Hudson Holt, the pitcher for the Yellowjackets. So we got one out here. Great play by Hector over there to get that first out on the board. It looked like that was going to be out of play, but it drifted back over. He was right there to make a great catch. Pitch on the way. That's in there for a strike. First pitch strike from Johnson to Holt. Pitch on the way, curveball. Just misses outside, 1-1. So here we have a pitcher's duel. Pitcher for the Yellow Jackets is batting in the lineup. Johnson comes set. That's on the outside corner, perfect placement. Beautiful pitch there from Johnson, 1-2 the count. Eastwood gets Johnson the sign. He comes set. Pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted to center field. Talley drifts to his left and makes the catch. Easy play out there from Talley in center field.
Number 6, Cheek, Dylan Cheek.
2 quick outs here for Johnson and the Grizzlies in the bottom of the first. That's going to bring up number 6, the shortstop, Dylan Cheek, for the Yellow Jackets. They're getting time out. He's going to stroll down the third baseline here and talk to coach. Nobody on here for the Yellow Jackets. First 2 batters pop foul out down the third baseline. That we had a great catch over there from Hector Francia right against the fence, almost out of play ball. And then a little pop fly to Talley's left in right center. He came over, made the catch pretty easily. And here's Cheek stepping in and going to deliver the pitch. Johnson here is on the way. That ball's hit to the right side. Second baseman makes a great play. Spins around, fires to first for the out. What a great play there by Brody Freitas. Goes to his left, down on a knee, and goes 4-3. So the Yellow Jackets go down in order here in the bottom of the first. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Great play there by the second baseman to end the inning. And after 1 complete, we're scoreless here at Sam Houston. We'll be right back, folks, here on Houston Sports Live.
Leading off for the Grizzlies, number 9, the catcher, Owen Eastwood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Sam Houston State in our Game 1 third round series between the Rockwall Yellowjackets. Leading off the second inning is Owen Eastwood, the catcher. The pitch is on the way. Hits the outside corner for a strike. Exciting play there to end the second inning from Freitas, the Grizzlies second baseman. Great play. Here's the pitch from Holt. Ooh, almost the same place. Looks a little low, just out of the zone low. 1-1 the count now. Here's a pitch from Holt. Curveball's ripped to third baseman. Great two-hopper. Fires across the diamond, 5-3. Good bat. Good contact there from Eastwood. Great play by the Yellow Jacket third baseman. That is Brent Sellis. So Eastwood goes 5-3 for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up that second baseman, number 0, Brody Freitas. And how often do you make a great defensive play in the field and then come up to bat in the next inning? Big things like to happen. Let's see what Brody can do here. First pitch from Holt is a ball, 1-0. Working quickly here. Freitas fouls it down the first baseline and out of play. So the count's 1-1 to Freitas, the second baseman for the Grizzlies. One out here after Eastman went 5-3, and the pitch is on the way. That swung on and hit into center on the line for a base hit. Brody Freitas, like I said, great defensive play in the bottom of the first inning, comes up to bat in the top of the second and rips a single right up the middle. And that's going to be a base hit for Freitas. That's going to bring up our left-handed shortstop, number 6, Sebastian Segura, now with one out. Freitas at first base. Still no score here in the top of the second. Pitch on the way, hit into center field, but right at the center fielder on the line. Doesn't even have to move. Throws the ball in, gets past the second baseman, but no damage there, as Freitas is standing on first base, so no advancement. So Segura puts good bat on it, lines to the center fielder for out number 2. So we have 2 outs here in the top of the second. And that's going to bring up Hector Francia Linares. And of course, another great defensive play on that pop-up foul down the third baseline. That first pitch is in there for a strike. Linares shakes that one off, digs back in here from the left-handed batter's box. 0-1 the count. Holt's delivery outside. One and one the count here in the bottom of, or check that, top of the second inning. Here's Holt set, gets his sign, delivers, ripped foul, straight back into the net by Francia. 1-2 the count here. Holt gets the sign from Irsay, his catcher battery mate. Peeks over at Freitas at first base. Here comes the pitch. That's ripped on again, fouled back. Count's going to stay 1-2. Francia Linares putting some good contact on the ball, spoiling these good pitches from Holt. Let's see if he gets one he likes down the middle here. Calls time, granted. Collects his thoughts, takes a deep breath, gets back into the batter's box. Throw over. That was more like a, hey, I see you throw. Nothing really rushed to get over there. Freitas gets back easy. Not a big lead. He's not even to the cutout. Here's the pitch. Off speed outside. Catcher tried to frame that one up just a little too much to move that glove. 2-2 the count here to Hector Francia Linares, the Grizzly third baseman. Peek over to Freitas at first. The pitch on the way is inside. Full count here. 3-2 the count. 2 outs. Let's see if Coach Farrell has Freitas on the move here. He should, with 2 down. Nobody's holding him on. He gets a big jump. There he goes. The ball is inside. And Linares draws the walk with 2 outs. That's going to push Freitas over to second base. So the Grizzlies have first and second here with 2 outs. Little something brewing. And that's going to bring up Colton Talley. He's been on a little tear lately here. Talley walked off a game in the last series. Grand Oaks moving on. Here comes Holt, set, gets a sign from Ursa. Pitch on the way and swung on and lifted, popped up to the second baseman. And Talley just got under that one. First pitch pops up to the second baseman to end the inning.
3, stranding 2. After 1.5 innings of play, the score still 0-0.
So, top of the second, the Grizzlies leave 2 left on base. We have no runs, 1 hit, 2 left on with the walk to Francia Linares. And after 1.5 complete here at Sam Houston State, we're still scoreless. We'll be right back, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Sam Houston State and Houston Sports Live. Scott Matthiesen here on the call live. Round 3, Texas 6A playoffs. Number 24, the third baseman, Brent Sellis, going to step in for the Yellowjackets. First pitch is ripped into right center on a line, and that's going to be the first hit of the game for the Yellowjackets. So Sellis' first pitch swinging on the single. We're going to have a runner here for Sellis. So this is not a courtesy runner, and it's number 3 running for Sellis and entering the game. That's going to bring up number 5, Casey Cavan, the designated hitter. Big man steps in from the left-hand batter's box. We'll get number 3's info here in a minute for you folks. First pitch is a bunt, squared, pulls it back, and that's a ball. So 1-0 here, the count to Casey Cavan. Number 3 is Sawyer Purdue. The bunt down the first baseline. Good bunt. Johnson there to field it. Underhands to first for the out. Throw back to second. Hits the runner. Runner rounded second base. So Kevin has a sack bunt down the first baseline. And then Martin tried to fire back and back pick the runner at second base, and the ball hit him. Looked like in the back or the back of the helmet. Hard to tell. We got a timeout here. Coach is out there looking at it. And that is the pinch runner that came in. That's number 3, Sawyer Purdue. He looks to be okay, shaking it off there. So Purdue advances to second base on the bunt. So one out here in the bottom of the second, and that's going to bring up number 15, the second baseman, A.J. Newby. Newby's in the batter's box. Johnson comes set, looks back at Sawyer. Here comes the pitch. That's in there for a strike. Great pitch from Johnson, leading that bat off. 0-1 the count here to Newby. Johnson gets a sign from Eastwood, comes set. Here's a delivery. Curveball outside. Tries to go off speed there. 1-1 the count. Sawyer Purdue, the runner for the Yellowjackets, in scoring position at second base with 1 out. Johnson takes a peek back. No, nothing doing on the pickoff. Here comes the pitch. Go, curveball hits him in the helmet. That one just got away from Johnson. So A.J. Newby, the second baseman, gets pinged in the helmet here. Another timeout. Coach is going to come check on him. It was off speed. That's one good thing. It wasn't a 90-something mile-an-hour fastball in there on him. It is never good to get hit, but at least it was not that number one heater. So it appears that Newby is okay. He's taken off all his padding. Hit by pitch here in the bottom of the second. So he's collecting himself there. Coach is gathering all his gear. Johnson looks over at him, gives him a my bad sign, pumps his chest, points at him, hopes he's okay. That's real good sportsmanship there from Johnson, the Grizzlies pitcher. I know that for 100% he did not want to put him on base. Not here in this situation at all. So now the Yellowjackets have something brewing here in the bottom of the second. 1 out, runner at first and second. Newby's at first. Purdue, the pinch runner at second base, and that's Reed Overstreet, the left fielder, stepping in. So 1 down here. Overstreet, the left-handed batter's box, getting a sign from Coach. See if they put a bunt down again or some kind of hit and run. Try to get these runners moved over. Of course, Grand Oaks playing back for the double play ball here. Johnson's pitch on the way, outside. So 1-0 the count. Johnson looking for a ground ball here. All the Grand Oaks fans ready for that 5-4-3 double play. Let's see what happens here. Here's the pitch outside. 2-0. Reed Overstreet steps in, holds that bat up, takes a deep breath, gets it out in front of him, digs in. Johnson gets a sign from Eastwood. Peeks back at second base. Here's the pitch. Outside and up in the zone. Not where Johnson wanted to go here. 3-0 to the number 7 hole hitter here. So 3-0 the count to Overstreet. Here's the pitch. That's ball 4. So Overstreet draws a 4-pitch walk from Johnson here. And that's going to load him up. So bases loaded for the Yellowjackets. Grizzlies get a timeout here. The infielders are coming in. Eastwood staying behind the plate. Johnson stood now coach is coming out. He's going to get a timeout. So we do have a mound visit here. Call. Coach strolling out, taking his time. The Grizzlies are moving some people now to the bullpen here in the bottom of the second. Got the single lead off from Brent Sellis, and then the Yellowjackets pinch run with Sawyer Purdue. Case Cavan, the designated hitter, lays down a perfect bunt down the first baseline. And then the runner rounded second pretty deep. So Grizzlies first baseman Martin tried to backpick him at second, hit him with the baseball. Not intentionally, of course. It was right on the bag. And then the next batter gets hit by pitch. And then we have the walk. So that's how we got the bases loaded here, folks. And coach is coming off after a little mound visit here. Get the pep talk for Johnson. Clear his head and let him focus in here on the number 8 hitter, number 22. First baseman Zach Barnes steps in with the sacks juiced. Bases loaded for the Yellowjackets. Here in the bottom of the second with 1 out. Johnson delivers. That's up and in. That pitch almost hit Barnes on that front elbow. 1-0 the count. Johnson comes set, delivers inside and hits him on the arm. So Johnson now hits another batter. That's going to score a run, so Barnes is going to get an RBI on the hit by pitch. So 2 batters hit here, sack bunt and a single and a walk. And the Yellowjackets still have the bases loaded. So now we do have a runner coming in for Barnes as well. That's going to be number 21. That's Braden Taylor running at first base. Brock Shusay steps in. He's the right fielder tonight, number 16. Johnson gets the sign from Eastwood, comes set. Pitch is in there for a strike. Oh, 1 the count here to the right fielder for the Yellowjackets. Still 1 out, infield deep, looking for that double play ball. That pitch is down and away. 1-1 the count. Again, number 21 over there running at first base is Braden Taylor for the Yellowjackets. So we have 2 pinch runners already here in the bottom of the second inning for the Yellowjackets. Of course, if you're not familiar with high school and HSA, they can re-enter. That's a great pitch from Johnson, 1-2. You can re-enter a starter back in the game 1 time. 1-2 the count here. Johnson looking for either a hard ground ball for a double play or maybe an off-speed curveball here for the strikeout to get the second out in the bottom of the second. Comes set, pitch on the way. It is the off-speed. Doesn't go for it, just off of the outside corner and low. Evens up the count here, 2-2 the count to Shusay. Johnson comes set. Here's the delivery, and that pitch is swung on and fouled. Looked like he missed it at first, but just got a piece of it. Fighting that one off. 2-2 is going to remain the count. Already 20 pitches here in the inning for Johnson. It's going to be a big inning. 2 hit by pitch, a walk, a single, sack bunt. Let's see if we can get a punch out here from Johnson and get 2 outs. Put Shusay away. It swung on and hit to the second baseman. One hop on the bag. Throws it first. Ball just off the bag. That's going to score the run. So Shusay is going to be on. That's going to score Newby from third base. Reed Overstreet's going to move to third. They get the 6 unassisted. So Taylor, the pinch runner, is out for the second out, and Shusay is going to reach.
Back to the top of the order, number 14, the catcher.
And we're going to have another runner here. Wow, they're running through these pinch runners, definitely. So we've got number 1 coming in, running for Shusei, and that is Kalen Zollikoffer. So Zollikoffer running for first base, and Irsay is going to step into the batter's box here. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Two outs here in the bottom of the second. After Johnson gets the ball he thought he needed for the double play, the ball was just high on the throw over to first, and that ball's ripped into the gap in right center. Is Talley going to run it down? Yes, he does! Over his left shoulder, deep in the gap. Irsay put that ball on a rocket line into right center field. And Talley gets on his horse and runs that one down in the gap. But the Yellow Jackets push 2 across here in the bottom of the second on 1 hit. We've got 1 error on the throw from second base, and then 2 hit by pitch and a batter walked, and we've got the sack bunt. So after 2 complete here in round 3 of Texas 6A playoff baseball, your score, Yellow Jackets 2, Grand Oaks 0. We'll be right back, folks, here on Houston Sports Live.
Leading off, number 5, Callum Wilson.
Welcome back here. Top of the third, Colin Wilson steps in. First pitch is in there for a strike. Curveball. We'll get you reset here at the top of the third after the Yellow Jackets push 2 across. That ball's in there for a strike. 0-2 quickly to the leadoff man for the Grizzlies. Pitch on the way. Whoa, way outside. That one gets away from Holt. Great job by the catcher there, bouncing out of the squat to get that one from rolling back to the backstop. 1-2 the count here to Wilson. That pitch is low and away. It evens up the count, 2-2. Top of the third inning here. Grizzlies have their leadoff man in there. Fouls it away. Wilson with the leadoff double in the first inning. Got stranded at third. Moved over to third on the 6-3 put out from Semin. And then left stranded after a strikeout. And then the liner to the second baseman from Martin. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled down the first baseline. Good at bat here from Wilson after going down 0-2 quickly. It's 22 here with a couple of foul balls. This is pitch number 7 now of the at bat. Holt comes set, gets the sign. Pitch on the way. That's inside and out of the zone. The Yellow Jacket fans wanting that call just off the plate. And that goes full here to Wilson. Good at bat to lead off the third. And that pitch is inside, and he draws the walk after going down 0-2. Wilson gets on.
Brings up number 20, the left fielder, Harper Seaman.
So the Grizzlies get the leadoff man on here in the top of the third. That's going to bring up Harper Seaman. He went 6-3 in the first inning, hit a hard ground ball right to the shortstop. First pitch from Holt is in there for a strike. Holt not wasting any time. He gets that ball back from his catcher, and he's ready. He's digging to go. Here we go. Comes set. Pitch on the way is curveball out. It gets past the catcher. That's going to move Wilson over to second base. That's going to be a pass ball. That did bounce off the glove. So Wilson's going to get to second on the pass ball. 1-1 the count here. Irsay goes out, gets a minute with his pitcher, and come back in, dig in. 1-1 here to Seaman. Harper digging in, looking for a base hit here with Wilson in scoring position. Pitch out of the zone. Two and 1 the count here to the Grizzly left fielder. Holt comes set, and pitch on the way is in there. Swung on and ripped down the first baseline. Out of play, foul. Good contact from Harper there on that pitch. 2-2 the count here in the UIL Texas 6A playoffs. Holt comes set. Grizzlies looking for some runs here. That ball swung on and fouled down the third baseline. Couple of good at-bats here from the Grizzlies leading off the third inning. Already at 10 pitches in the inning with 2 batters here. It's Clayton on deck looking to extend this inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Curveball swung fouled straight back into the net. That would have probably hit the press box here without the safety netting. Thank you very much, Sam Houston State. Beautiful facility here. Don Sanders Stadium. Almost feel at home here, ladies and gentlemen. I know some of you listening probably know I have several siblings here attending. Timeout on the field. A ball flew out of the dugout. Don't know. It actually came over the left field wall, and the Yellow Jacket left fielder out there, Reed Overstreet, says, hey, there's a ball out here. Here we go back in play. Attempted throwback from the Yellow Jacket pitcher number 12, Hudson Holt. Nothing doing. There was no movement from his shortstop or his second baseman. And here is the pitch on the way. That pitch is hit straight back as well. Again, great at bat here. Count still 2-2. Loading up the pitch count for the inning for Holt. He's already at 12 this inning. For a total, let me see, we had 28 previous. So he's almost nearing 40 pitches here. Curveball is swung on, fouled down the third baseline. Tried to get him on the off speed. And Harper said, no, sir. I'm gonna take that one and drive it down the third baseline and spoil that curveball. Let's see what he comes back with here. Again, 2-2 the count still with Wilson up there, over there at second base, looking for a base hit to score him. Pitch on the way. Curveball up and out of the zone. That's going to go full count here to Harper Simmons. Holt gets his sign from Mercy. Digs in, takes a peek back at Wilson. 2 peeks. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Just over the top. Simmons misses on that curve on the fastball. That's going to bring up number 8, Andrew Clayton, the designated hitter. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd for the Grizzlies. And we're going to get a timeout here. Yellowjackets coach is going to come out from the dugout. Andrew Clayton, the designated hitter, he had actually struck out in the top of the 1st. So coach is coming out here with Wilson at second base, not wanting to take any chances, talk to his crew. Coach Farrell over here down the third base line talking to his guys, looking to get that base hit. Coach Farrell's actually coming back to the first base side, talking with his coaches. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, 6A Texas playoff baseball here. Again, outstanding performances so far from our district, Conroe ISD, District 13, with 3 of our teams still alive here in the 3rd round of the Texas playoffs, D1 and D2. And unfortunately, the only one out right now is Oak Ridge. After a perfect district season, they get the draw for Tomball, which is pretty brutal for anybody. Tomball moving on, undefeated still, 1 tie on the year. So the meeting is broken up here at the plate, at the pitcher's plate, and Holt digs in on the mound as Clayton gets ready for his at bat. Here's the pitch. That's low, out of the zone, ball 1 to Clayton. So 1 out here after the strikeout to Harper Simmons. Clayton digging that bat back and forth. Here comes the pitch. Curveball just out of the zone. Great hold on the check swing by Clayton there. 2-0 the count. Pretty decent pitch there from Holt. That was a good pitch. Clayton just held up on it. Pitcher comes set. Here's the delivery. That swung on and fouled away at the plate. 1-2 the count. Grizzlies looking to get a run back here in the top of the 3rd after giving up 2 in the bottom of the 2nd on 1 hit on a couple hit batters and a walk and a sac fly or sac bunt. Here's the pitch, swung on, lifted, foul over the netting, out of play. It's going to even the count on Clayton, the designated hitter tonight, 2-2. Let's see if Andrew can push one of these balls in the gap. Down the right field line, pretty big spacing over there. The right fielder's playing way off with the right-handed batter in the box. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Off speed gets Clayton here in the top of the 3rd for the 2nd out. And the 2nd strikeout of the inning from Holt. So we got 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Wilson still up there, over there at second base. And Colin Martin, the first baseman for the Grizzlies, digs in, looking for some two-out magic here. Wilson, leadoff, has been doing his job. He's been on second base both times. First inning with the leadoff double. Now he's on base again with the walk, and then the pass ball gets him in the scoring position. Holt comes set, and here's the pitch to Martin. Swung on and fouled down the first baseline. Little neck movement matrix there by Coach Farrell. 0-1 the count here to Martin after that line drive shot down the first baseline. 2 outs. Callum Wilson at second base after drawing the walk and the pass ball. Here's the pitch to Martin, off speed, hit down the third baseline, just foul. 0-2 quickly here to Martin, your Grizzly first baseman. See what we can do here with 2 outs. 2 strikes. Big Colin Martin in the batter's box here for the Grizzlies. Holt comes set, delivers up high and out of the zone. Looking for Martin to chase that one up and away, and Martin says no thank you. I'll dig in here for a better pitch. 2-1 the count. That ball is smoked down the left field line, but foul. He got a piece of that one.
Foul ball.
Long foul ball. Count's going to stay 1-2. Martin digs in. Holt gets the sign, steps off. Martin steps out. Wilson down at second base looking for something to get him rolling. Here's the pitch. Back throws to second base. Back easy there is Colin Wilson. Shortstop coming over to take that throw. That was Dylan Cheek from Holt. Holt comes set. Wilson got a big lead. Martin calls time and is granted. Lots of stuff going on there with movement and pitchers and shortstops moving and Wilson going back to second base. Now everybody's set. And here comes the pitch from the Yellow Jacket hurler, and it's outside. That's going to even up the count here to Martin, 2-2. Holt digs back in, gets the sign from Ursi, his catcher. Quick peek back to Wilson at second. Shortstop comes off. Here's the pitch. It's lifted to second base again. Second baseman sliding over. Center fielder calling him off, comes in and makes the catch. So pop up to the center fielder.
Martin flies out the center fielder for out number 3.
And that's going to give the third out to the Grizzlies and leave Wilson stranded again. So the top of the third, we have no runs, no hits, 1 left on, no errors. And your score remains Yellow Jackets 2, Grizzlies 0, here from beautiful Sam Houston State in Texas 6A third round playoffs. Game 1 of the series tonight. Scott Matthiesen here on Houston Sports Live, and we'll be right back in a moment.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Sam Houston State for the bottom of the third as Hudson Holt steps in. Johnson starts off the third inning and hits him right in the left arm. So Holt is the third batter hit tonight.
Brings up the shortstop, number 6, Dylan Cheek.
So that's going to get Holt on leading off the top. Check that bottom of the third inning. We're going to have a courtesy runner over there for the pitcher. That's going to be number 2. So that will be a courtesy runner for the pitcher, Holt. That's going to bring up number 6, Dylan Cheek, with the runner at first base here. Nobody out in the bottom of the third. Johnson peeks over at the runner at first. Delivers a perfect pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count now to Cheek. Ball's on the way. It's a ball. The catcher's throw. Eastwood gets over the second baseman.
Guido steals second base.
Stolen base on the play. It's number 2, I believe, out there. Courtesy running for Rockwall. That's Isaac Oviedo. 1-1 the count here to Dylan Cheek. Squares to bunt. He does attempt. He does go. Strike on the call. So 1-2 the count here. Nobody out. Johnson delivers. Curveball's lifted. First baseman Martin calling for it and makes the catch. So 1 out here. Pops up to the third baseman. Cheek pops up. Martin takes about 5 steps in and just barely out in foul territory for 1 out.
Brent Sealis, the third baseman.
That's going to leave the runner at second for now. And that's going to bring up number 24, Brent Sellis. He's going to re-enter. Sellis hit the single last inning and then was run for Purdue. Pitch on the way. Ball inside. Almost hit him. Want to know the count here to Sellis in the bottom of the third inning. That's swung on and missed. Good pitch there from Johnson. Again, Isaac Oviedo is the runner. In for Holt at second base. That pitch is hit right to the shortstop. Gathers, goes to third for the tag, and they get him. Great heads-up play there by your shortstop for the Grizzlies, Segura. Not sure why they would send him there with nobody out, but they get the second out. Check that on the 6-5 put out. And Sellis is going to be on first base on the fielder's choice. Great play by Segura to get that out. So no runner at second base. Again, Sellis is going to reach on the fielder's choice, and we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. And that's going to bring up Case Caven, the designated hitter, number 5. He had the sack bunt last inning. Pitch on the way, just off the corner. What a great heads-up play by Segura. I thought he was going to come across and get the out, and he said, no, I got this guy at third base here, bud. We're going to go 6-5 for the put out. Here's Johnson's pitch. That's just missing off the plate. looking for Case Kevin to reach out there and try to get that outside corner. And good plate discipline here by the Yellow Jackets. So we have 2 outs, runner at first base. 2-0 the count to Kevin. That swung on and fouled off. 2-1 now. Two outs here in the bottom of the third. Johnson looking to close out Kevin here with 2 strikes. Get through a fairly easy inning and get the Grizzly bats back up here. Johnson comes set, pitch on the way is swung on and fouled off. Out of play down the third baseline. Two and two the count. Again, Isaac Oviedo, the courtesy runner at first base here for Hudson Holt after he was hit by a pitch. 2 down. Johnson comes set, pitches on the way, it's swung on and it's hit in the gap. Second baseman comes to his left, fires across to Martin in time to get the out. Almost pulled that foot, but Martin just hung on. 4-3 for the third out. And that's going to send the Yellow Jackets back to the dugout. So we have no runs, no hits, no errors in this inning. And after 3 complete here at Sam Houston State, your score, Yellow Jackets 2, Grizzlies 0. We'll be back for the top of the 4th inning soon. Houston Sports Live. Scott Matthiesen here in Sam Houston State, Texas UIL 6A Round 3 playoffs on the road to Round Rock.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, eye-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here at Sam Houston State to start off the top of the 4th inning. Pretty quick turnaround here. First pitch is a strike to Owen Eastwood, the catcher for the Grizzlies, here to start the top of the 4th.
Owen Eastwood, the hitter.
Second pitch is just outside. 1-1 to count now. That pitch is in there for a strike. 2 strikes quickly here on Eastwood. 1-2 the count. And that pitch is swung on and missed. Holt throws the nasty stuff. Gets him on the slider. So Eastwood goes down swinging, and that's going to bring up Brody Freitas. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th, and Freitas steps in. Pitch is on the way. Curveball outside. Pitch off. Framework by Ursay there, trying to get that call in the outside corner. Not happening. 1-1 the count here to Freitas. That ball is hit to the second baseman. 2-hopper. Fires across. That's Newby going across to Barnes. So Freitas grounds out 4-3 for the second put out here in the inning. So 2 outs here for Segura stepping in. Segura lined out to the center fielder last in the 3rd inning. Check that in the 2nd inning. That pitch is out of the zone low. 1-0 the count here. Segura takes strike 1. Pretty quick so far. 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Holt working quickly from the windup. Curveball just out of the zone high. Two and one the count. Holt working, gets the sign already. Here he comes with the delivery. That's outside. Three and one the count. Here to Segura, the Grizzlies shortstop, batting here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 down, 3 and 1. Not sure the scoreboard's showing 2-0. Pitch on the way. That's in there for a strike. That ball is missing. And Segura draws the walk.
Number 16, the third baseman, Hector.
A little activity going on here on the Grizzlies sidelines between their fans. Not sure. Somebody's just being escorted out. Not quite sure what's going on here. Pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Squibbles down the first baseline. No advancement, though, from Segura after drawing the walk with 2 outs here. Let's see if Francia Linares, the Grizzly third baseman, can do some trouble here and cause some action here with that left-handed bat. With Segura over here at first base with 2 outs, 1-0 the count. Swung on and lifted to center. Center fielder moves a couple steps to his right and makes the catch. And Linares goes F8 to end the inning. Flies out to the center fielder. That's Parker Limerick for the Yellowjackets. So the Grizzlies, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base after the walk. And after 3.5 complete here, the score, Yellowjackets 2, Grand Oaks Grizzlies 0. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back here at Sam Houston State University for the bottom of the 4th inning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Houston Sports Live. Scott Matthiesen will be back in just a minute. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here at the bottom of the 4th inning as Newby steps in. Johnson to work his 4th inning here. First pitch on the way is drilled into the gap in right center. Tally on his horse, makes the catch over his left shoulder. So Newby goes L8 into deep left center for the first out. One pitch. Johnson again working the fourth inning of work.
Number 11. Reed
Quickly one out for the Grizzlies. One pitch, one out for Johnson here in the bottom of the fourth. Great start. That's going to bring up number 11, Reed Overstreet, the left fielder for the Yellowjackets. Again, game one here of the series, third round. Johnson comes set. Nobody on here in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch is swung on, fouled. 0-1 the count here to Overstreet. Again, lots of action going on in the Grand Oaks cheering section. Not quite sure what is happening. Pitch is on the way and it bounces in. I thought it hit him in the foot, maybe not. 1-1 the count. Johnson comes set. Here's a delivery on the outside corner looking. Great pitch from Johnson there. 1-2 the count here to Overstreet. Johnson looking for his first K of the ball game, actually. 1-2 the count to the Yellow Jacket left fielder. Here's the pitch outside. 2-2 the count. Overstreet walked in the second inning. Got stranded at third base when the Yellow Jackets pushed their 2 runs across. Johnson's delivery inside corner. Now he's worked it back full. 3-2. So 3-2 the count here to the number 7 hitter, number 11, Reed Overstreet. Takes a deep breath, steps back in, holds that bat up high, calls time, and gets it granted from the home plate umpire. Deep breath again from Reed. Got lots of shadows coming across the field here at Sam Houston State. Johnson delivers. Pitch is swung on and lifted. May be playable. Oh, Eastwood just overruns it back here in foul territory behind home plate. And that ball falls safely to the ground for Overstreet.
Heck of a try there by Fleetwood to try to flag that foul ball down.
3-2 the count here to Overstreet. 1 out, bottom of the fourth. Yellow Jackets holding a 2-0 lead here on the Grizzlies. Johnson comes set, delivers, pitch is swung on and hit to left field down the line. Looks foul, barely foul. What a great effort over there by Harper Simon. Crashed into the wall. We got time out here. He's back up on his feet, looks to be okay. What a great effort by the Grizzly left fielder there to try to get to that foul ball deep down the left field line. Count stays full here to Overstreet. Harper smashed into that left field sidewall pretty good. Trying to get over there in foul territory to make that catch. Almost came up with a miraculous catch here for the Grizz. Here's Johnson set to Overstreet. 3-2 the count. Pitch is swung on a rip down the first baseline. That's just foul. Boy, Overstreet got onto that off speed. Turned on it quickly, just about a foot foul down the first baseline. Johnson comes set. That one's ripped down the first baseline as well. So Overstreet spoiling some good pitchers here. We got timeout as the ball was being collected down the first baseline near the Grizzly bullpen. Everybody's back in play here. Lots of shade, lots of sun. The right fielder is barely holding his glove up to see what's going on. That's an off-speed pitch. Dribbled to the pitcher just can't barehand it. That ball on the curveball just knuckled off the bat of Overstreet and had some wicked spin on it. The only play that Johnson had there was a bare hand to fire, but what a great play. Infield single here from Overstreet.
First baseman, Zach Barnes.
And that's going to bring up number 22, first baseman Zach Barnes. So Overstreet's going to reach on the infield single. Like I said, little dribbler off the bat at the plate. And it just took a wicked spin away from Johnson as he was coming off the mound to try to field it barehand. That's the only play he had, if it was even going to be a play. I think he probably would have beat it out anyway. So here we go. Overstreet's on first. Barnes steps in. That ball is wide of the zone, and Overstreet is going to take second base on a stolen base. Ball 1 to Barnes. So the Yellow Jackets have a runner again in scoring position here in the fourth. Want to know the count to the Yellow Jacket first baseman. Johnson comes set, looks back at Overstreet, pitch on the way, out of the zone. 2-0. Barnes digs in from the right side. Johnson gets the sign from Eastwood. Comes set, peeks back at the runner. Here's the pitch on the way. Foul down the third baseline. 1-2 the count now to Zach Barnes. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Stranded at first base in that 2-run inning that the Yellow Jackets put up in the bottom of the second. Johnson comes set, gets the sign from Eastwood. Peeks back at the runner at second base. Here's the pitch. That ball is fouled down the first baseline over the Grizzly dugout into the netting. And that's going to even the count here at 2-2. Just a beautiful day here. Barely no wind. The flag's just barely looking at left field here at Sanders Stadium. Johnson comes set. Pitch on the way. Curveball. Check swing. Did he go? No. The first base umpire says no, he did not on the appeal from Eastwood. That's going to be a full count here now to Barnes. Again, Johnson looking for his first K of the night. In the bottom of the fourth, runner goes. Here's the pitch, swung on it. It's hit into right field. Right fielder's not going to get to it. It's going to fall. That's going to score another Yellow Jacket on the single from Barnes. So they put the runner in motion. Barnes hits the ball into right field, and it was just not lifted high enough for Column to get over there and make the catch. So putting the runner in motion gets that run in for the Yellow Jackets on Barnes' single, and they go up now 3-0. It's going to be timeout for the Grizzlies here, as Johnson's night is done. He's going to come off. The Grizzly crowd gives him a round of applause as the guys come out of the dugout. So as we have a pitching change here, we'll take a small commercial break and we'll be right back here at Sam Houston. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on Texas UIL 6A, not district play. Round 3 on the road to Round Rock here in Game 1 of the series between the Yellow Jackets and the Grand Oaks Grizzlies, and we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Sam Houston State University on Sanders Field Stadium. Check that. New pitcher here for the Grizzlies, number 4. That's Rhett Dolezal. As he's warming up the lefty, don't forget, don't miss the final UIL state event of the year, the 2026 State Baseball Championships, taking place June 4th through June 6th at the Dell Diamonds in Round Rock, Texas. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, please visit uiltexas.org/baseball. Once again, that's uiltexas.org/baseball. Don't forget, we are on the road to Round Rock. Get your tickets, spectator information, everything you need. UIL 6A, Texas Playoff Baseball. Dolezal finishes his warm-up pitches. Eastwood comes out. Again, Scott Matthiesen on the call here for Houston Sports Live. Thank you, Jordan Smith, for your engineering help at home. Beautiful, beautiful stadium here. Press box, wonderful air conditioning. Great view, great game so far. So Dolezal is going to begin work here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. He'll inherit the runner. That's Barnes at first base after the RBI single. Brock Schause steps in. That ball is hit into the gap in left center. That's going to be trouble for Talley. Big hop, gets it on 1 hop, keeps the runner at second. But that's going to be a single from Schause. So 2 hits here in the inning on 1 run for the Yellowjackets. That's going to move Barnes over to second base. So the Yellowjackets here have first and second with 1 out. Back to the top of the order is going to be the catcher, number 14, Jake Ursey.
That's who steps in. 1 out, a runner on first and second base.
3-0 here, the score in the bottom of the 4th. Rhett comes set, gets a sign from Eastwood, lefty. He delivers the pitch. It's a bunt attempt. Pulled away, pitches a ball. Grizzlies looking for another double play ball here. Pitch on the way from Dolezal. Swung on and ripped down the third baseline, foul. Way ahead of that one. Ursey was all over that. 1-1 the count here. Again, thank you for joining Texas UIL 6A Playoff Baseball. Can't say thank you enough to Houston Sports Live and all of our guests and listeners and folks checking in. Don't forget to like, sign up. A ball screamed to the third baseman across the diamond. Throw is high. What a ball. That was rocketed to Hector Francine Linares at third base. He made a great play, went to the bag for the force out, but then the throw was high over Martin's head.
Reaches on an error and moves to second base on the overthrow.
That's going to be E5 on Linares, on Ursay to reach, and then move to second. That's going to bring up Hudson Holt, the pitcher. So Ursay is on second now on the error. That moves Schuse over to third, and Barnes scores on that play. That ball is fouled away. Check that, Barnes did not score. Barnes was the put out on the 5 unassisted. I apologize if you're keeping score at home. Do not score, Barnes. Barnes was 5 unassisted. Schutz is at third, and Ursay is at second. That ball is lifted into right field and put away. So, no run on the 1 run, not 2. We'll go back to 3-0. Reed Overstreet did score on the single from Barnes. Barnes was put out unassisted by Linares at third base, and Schutz and Ursay are left stranded. So 2 left on base after 1 run and 2 hits. So your score after 4 complete here at Sam Houston, the Rockwall Yellowjackets 3, your Grand Oaks Grizzlies 0, and coming to the plate. We'll be back in a few moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the top of the 5th inning.
The center fielder, Colton Talley.
Colton Talley steps in to lead off the top of the 5th for your Grizzlies. First pitch ball. Want to know the count to Talley. Squares the bunt, fouls it off. Quickly 0-2 to Colton here. Holt working in his 5th inning of work. No runs on 2 hits from the Grizzlies. They've left 3 on base so far through the contest. Pitch on the way is fouled back. Out of play. One and two the count here to Talley to lead off the 5th inning. Ball's hit right back to the pitcher. Holt snares it. Underhands to first for the out. If you're keeping score at home, that's 1-3 on the putout.
Back to the top of the order, Callum Wilson, the right fielder, number 5.
Stepping in for the Grizzlies, the leadoff man, number 5, Callum Wilson. He's been on twice tonight. Pitch on the way is hit to the first baseman. Two-hopper takes it himself, waves off the pitcher, and they finally put Wilson down for the first time tonight. He was on base twice with the double and a walk. So 3 unassisted there for the second out. And that's going to bring up Seaman, number 20, your Grizzly left fielder. 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Holt quickly, 5 pitches, 2 outs. See if we can get some work on this starter. Pitching in his 5th inning tonight. Pitches on the way in there. Fastball in the outside corner. Good location from Holt. Swung on, base hit into left field. Harper Simmons drives that ball into the gap. Left fielder comes over, stops, gets the ball in quickly to keep Harper at a single. Grizzlies put a base runner on here. 2 outs. That's going to bring up your designated hitter, number 8, Andrew Clayton. Clayton struck out twice tonight, looking to get off the 0 for 2 here. Ball is wide, gets away from the catcher. They're going to take second base. He overslides and they tag him out. Seaman hustling down to second, overslid second base, and they put the tag on him for the 3rd out. So in a very unique way, the Grizzlies go down in order, 1, 2, 3, with a single, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on, and Clayton will lead off the next inning. That was pretty quick by Holt. I thought we had something going there. We just overslid the bag and put the leather on it, and the umpire was right there in great position to make that call. So after 4.5 here in Sam Houston, Yellowjackets 3, Grizzlies 0. We'll be right back. Thank you, folks.
Number 6, the shortstop, Dylan Cheek.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Houston Sports Live, Scott Matthiesen here. Bottom of the 5th, leading off is Dylan Cheek. The shortstop hits the first pitch from Dolezal and laces it into right field for a base hit. So Cheek leads off 1 pitch, single into right field.
Number 24, the 3rd baseman.
That's going to bring up Brent Sellis, number 24, the 3rd baseman. Sellis gets a little time out here. Dylan Cheek over there at first base. Dolezal, the lefty, comes set here. Sells 1 for 2. He's showing bunt right away. Pulls it back. The pitch is high. Want to know the count here. Sellis is 1 for 2. He had a single in the 2nd inning, and then a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Pitch on the way is swung on and lifted into the gap in right center. Tally on his horse to his left makes a great catch again. Tally, great movement on that ball. Read it well right off the bat.
Route number 1.
So one out here with the runner at first base. That's going to bring up Case Caven, the designated hitter, number 5 for the Yellowjackets. One out here, game 1, of course, in the series. Each team looking to make that trip to Round Rock for Texas UIL State. Dozal comes set, looking right at the runner at first. The lefty squares, pulls back, throw to second, not in time. Almost off the bag there is Cheek. Almost overslid that one, just like we did on the Grizzlies side. So we got the stolen base. Cheek's at second. Pitch was a strike.
Cheek with a stolen base.
Caven. So we got a runner at second here, one out. Caven had the sac bunt in the second inning that moved Celis over, eventually scoring, and then went 4-3 in the third. So he's 0 for 1 with the sac. Pitch on the way from Dolezal is in there for a strike. Great pitch. 0-2 the count now. Again, Dolezal working in his second inning of work now after taking over for Johnson in the fourth. Comes set, peeks back to second. Here's the pitch on the way, just out of the zone. Good placement there. Seeing if he would chase 0-2. And Case says, no, sir. Give me another, please. 1-2 the count now to the Yellow Jacket designated hitter. One out here, bottom of the fifth, 3-0. Caven requests time, gets it. Now the entire field is almost in shadow. Still right fielder struggling with the sun. Here's the pitch from Dolezal, swung on, and it's lifted just over Segura's head into left field. Shallow left. Segura makes a good attempt to get to that one, but a base hit here from the designated hitter from the Jackets. That's going to move Cheek over to third. First and third here with one out.
Yellow Jackets have runners at first and third with one out.
One down now. Thought Segura might have had a play at that. It looks like we've got a pinch runner coming across. It's like number 5. Wait, Caven is number 5.
Number 5, Blake Rogers, pinch running.
Blake Rogers.
AJ Newby, the second baseman, steps in.
Number 15, Newby, steps in, the second baseman. So we have a pinch runner, Blake Rogers, at first base. Pitch on the way from Dolezal. Squares to bunt. The runner's coming down from third. Pulled it back just in time, and the pitch was just out of the zone. 1-0. Newby hit by a pitch in the second inning, and then he lined out to Talley in center field in the fourth. Here's the pitch from Dolezal. He bunts it down the first baseline. Good play by the pitcher over to first, but it's not in time. He beats the throw. So we're going to have a bunt single from Newby, and that's going to score Cheek from third and move the pinch runner Rogers over to second base. Good bunt down the line there by Newby. Well placed. Dolezal had really did everything he could to try to get to that ball. Infield single. First and second now for the Jackets with one out. Reed Overstreet is the batter stepping in, number 11.
Number 7, Reed Overstreet.
Rockwall's left fielder tonight.
Number 11, Reed Overstreet.
So we have 3 hits here in the inning. 1 run in so far. First and second. Dolezal looking to deliver that ground ball for the double play to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch, and it is hit to the second baseman. The tag at the runner, the throw across, not in time. It gets away from Martin at first. The run is going to score. They do get the tag out at second. So Overstreet is going to be on fielder's choice. They get the second out. Newby is the second out. Check that. Rogers is out at second.
Now batting number 22, Zach Barnes.
22, Zach Barnes steps in. And now he calls time. That's in on Barnes, 1-0. The scoreboard here at Sam Houston says 4, but I've got 5 here, 2 in the inning. Runner goes, pitch on the way is just out of the zone, 2-0. Two outs here. Barnes is in there. The first baseman for the Yellowjackets lifts the ball to right field. And that ball is put away by Wilson.
Barnes flies out to right field for out number 3.
And the scoreboard is updated here. So the Yellowjackets push 2 across here on 3 hits. They leave a runner on. And your score now after 5 complete. Yellowjackets 5, Grizzlies 0. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back here for Texas 6A UIL Playoff Baseball Round 3 on the road to Round Rock. Houston Sports Live.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. Pitch on the way to the leadoff man for the Grizzlies in Clayton. That's a ball.
Andrew Clayton, the designated hitter, leads off.
Clayton, designated hitter tonight, leading off the 6th inning. That's in there for a strike. 1-1 the count here to Clayton in the top of the 6th. Grizzlies need some run support here. Ball's hit to the third baseman, comes across the diamond on a hop. In time to get Clayton on the 5-3 putout. Holt working in his 6th inning here. (5-3) on Clayton. That's going to bring up Colin Martin with 1 out. Pitch on the way is in there from Holt. 0-1 the count here, 1 out. Pitch on the way. It's a curveball. It's hit down the line in right field fairly deep. Let's see if the right fielder can get to it. He's on his horse. He makes a catch right on the foul line in fair territory, about 3 feet from the warning track. Martin gives it a ride. Great play out there by the Yellow Jacket right fielder. That's Brock Shusay. Thought we had trouble there, Bruin. That might have been a double or a triple for Martin. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Eastwood. Number 23 is in the box. That's Eric Carranza. Carranza is going to be batting for Eastwood here. Pitch is on the way and out of the zone.
Pinch hitting number 23, Carranza.
2 outs here for the Grizzlies. That ball's fouled off. One and 1 the count here to Carranza batting for Eastwood. Pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 the count on Carranza. Holt gets the sign, working here. Off speed is off the plate. Eric Carranza steps in here in the 6th inning, getting some work. 2-2 the count. Looking to extend this inning. Grizzlies need some runners, and he punches him out looking. Holt with the K, the backwards K here in the 6th inning.
The 5-0 to play. It's Grizzlies 0. And the Yellowjackets 5.
And the Grizzlies go down in order here in the top of the 6th. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 strikeout from Holt. We move to the bottom of the 6th here from Sam Houston State. Grizzlies still down. Yellowjackets 5, Grand Oaks 0. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back to Sam Houston after this short break. Thank you very much.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
Welcome back here to Sam Houston State. Scott Matthiesen on the call for Houston Sports Live. New pitcher here for the Grizzlies to work the bottom of the sixth. Dolezal works 2 innings. Number 33, Ben Garrett, in to start the bottom of the sixth for the Grizzlies. He'll be facing 9-1-2. Number 16, Shoes, to lead off for the Yellowjackets here in the bottom of the sixth. Eastwood. Let's check and see if Eastwood came back in defensively. I can't tell with that catcher's gear on. So here we go, bottom of the sixth inning, leading off Shoes, number 16, the Yellow Jacket right fielder. First pitch from Garrett is in there, fouled down the right field line, maybe playable. Martin's over there, makes a great catch. Check that. That is Martin, 24. Sorry, I thought I missed a number there. So 1 pitch, 1 out here, pop foul down the first baseline. Great play over there from Martin, and that's going to bring up Ursi with 1 out here. I thought I missed the call on Martin there.
Number 14, the catcher, Jake Usry.
Back to the top of the lineup for Rockwall Yellowjackets, number 14, Jake Ursay, the catcher. Lefty, he's been on once. Bunts down the third baseline, foul. 0-1 the count. Won the count here to the catcher from the Yellowjackets. Garrett gets ahead. Here's the delivery and the pitch, swung on and fouled off again. 0-2 the count quickly here. That pitch is in there, strike 3, drop third. Catcher fires down to Martin. And they get Ursi on the strikeout. Drop third, 2 outs.
Couldn't throw him out at first base. Out number 2.
First strikeout here in the inning.
Hudson Holt.
That's going to bring up the pitcher, Hudson Holt, for the Yellowjackets. Comes in here in the bottom of the sixth, working. 5-0 lead. Here's the pitch from Garrett on the way. Oh, curveball. Did it get him? Looked like it got him in the elbow. Maybe not. He's been hit already tonight.
Number 12, Hudson Holt at the plate.
1-0 the count. Here's the pitch from Garrett. Just high out of the zone. Looked really good. 2-0. Garrett making quick work here, back getting the sign, already on the windup, and here comes the delivery. That's in there for a strike. 2-1. Grizzlies looking to get out of this bottom of the sixth here with no more harm done and looking for a big 2-out rally. They're going to have 6, 7, 8 coming up in the bottom of the seventh. Garrett's got 2 strikes here. Or check that, 1 strike. That swung on, hit to the third baseman. Great play by Hector Linares across the diamond. 5-3 for the putout. Woo! Holt drove that one down the third baseline. Great hit from the pitcher from the Yellowjackets. Linares said, no, sir. 5-3. snares it on one hop and fires across for the putout, and the Yellow Jackets go down 1, 2, 3 in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Garrett doing quick work of the Yellow Jackets. Ladies and gentlemen, we come back for the 7th inning here at beautiful Sam Houston State University in Texas 6A UIL. 3rd round playoff action, game 1 of our series here. Yellow Jackets 5, Grizzlies 0. We'll be right back on Houston Sports Live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here, 7th inning. Holt working 7th inning of work here. Pitch to Brody Freitas is outside, ball 1. And Grizzlies just looking for some traffic here. 1-0 the count. That's in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Grizzlies need base runners. That pitch is outside. 2-1. Crowd is riled up here for a Grizzlies 7th inning comeback. Student body section really powerful, loud tonight. Pitch on the way from Holt. That's in there, lifted, popped up to second base. Camps under it and makes the out. So Freitas goes P4 for the first out in the 7th inning, and that's going to bring up shortstop number 6, Sebastian Segura. Batting from the left-hand side here, Segura looking to get something going for your Grizzlies. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Grizzlies need a bunch. That ball's popped out of play. Looks like it's going to get out. Third baseman is there to make, great effort over there.
Sebastian Segura, the shortstop.
That was Brent Sellis almost running into the fence down the third baseline. Good play. Update from around the district. Willis just completed a Game 1 victory against Tyler Legacy. Wildcats 4, Tyler 1. Way to go, Coach Washburn and the Willis Wildcats getting their first victory in the series in their round 3. That pitch is a ball. 1-1 the count here. Way to go, Willis. Hopefully the Grizzlies can put a bunch up here and get that same result. The ball's lifted to center, though. Segura pops up to the center fielder, flies out for the second out. And that's going to leave it up to Hector Francia Linares, who made some great plays over here at third base defensively tonight. Linares got on board on a walk in the second inning and then flew out to center, so he's 0 for 1. So the Grizzlies down to their last out here in game 1. 2 outs. That pitch is outside. Umpire is looking over to the student body here. They're being a little ruckus, and he's telling them to move away from the netting. He's had enough of the barking. It's been pretty consistent. It's always fun to have a lot of cheering and a lot of noise going on, but there does come to a limit. When you're chirping at the umpire, you're going to get heard back. So here's the pitch. The ball is outside. 3-0 the count here, looking for a base on balls to get this runner on, extend the inning, and that pitch is outside, and that's ball 4. So Linares draws the 4-pitch walk here with 2 outs, keeping this inning extended. Colton Talley comes up, center fielder. So the Grizzlies have a runner on here with 2 outs. Top of the 7th, Holt comes set. Pitch to Talley is out of the zone. 1-0 the count here to Talley. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Popped up to the second baseman in the second inning and went 1-3 in the 4th. Looking for a base hit here to extend the inning. That ball is lifted down the third baseline and foul out of play. 1-1 the count. Grizzlies looking for a little magic here in game 1 in the series at Sam Houston State here against the Yellowjackets from Rockwall. Holt so far with the complete game shutout. Here's the pitch. That ball is lifted into left field, right at the left fielder. Doesn't move and makes the catch. So Talley flies out F7. And that's going to end our contest here tonight in game 1 of the 3-game series. And Holt throws a complete game shutout. And we'll be right back to give some post-game highlights here from beautiful Sam Houston State. Once again, Scott Matthiesen here on the call for Houston Sports Live. And we will be right back. Welcome back here to Sam Houston. The lights on here at Don Sanders Stadium. Beautiful field, beautiful night for baseball. A few clouds in the sky. Unfortunately, Grand Oaks, we couldn't do anything with a couple runners on base. Colin Wilson getting on, leading off a couple innings, getting stranded out there. Holt for the Yellowjackets throws a complete game shutout. Gives up 3 hits. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts. So Holt holds it down here for the first game of the series. Again, 3-game series, folks, if you're not aware. In Texas baseball playoffs, round 3. Best of 3. We'll play again tomorrow night here. And then hopefully get the split and then go into Saturday for the win and moving on to the 4th round. Again, Holt with the win, losing for tonight, Johnson for Grand Oaks. In some relief, Rhett Dolezal and Ben Garrett with no runs, no hits, no errors there in the bottom of the sixth, holding it down. But again, the Grizzlies go in order. Check that. We did have the walk and got Hector Francie on base, and then Tally flew out to left field to end the contest. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at HoustonSportsLive.com. This is why we play 3 games. The series isn't over by any means, so we're looking to get back in it tomorrow and even this series at 1-1. So this is Scott Matthiesen here on Houston Sports Live, and we thank you for joining us. Once again, your final score, the Rockwall Yellowjackets 5 and your Grand Oaks Grizzlies 0. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night and come out and hopefully have a better result so we get to play Saturday. But again, we do have an update from Willis. Willis does go up 1-0 in their series. I have not seen or heard anything from Woodlands. We hope they are successful as well. And we get 3 teams here from District 13 and Conroe ISD back into 4th round play. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. Again, thank you for joining Houston Sports Live. Thank you to all of our sponsors for tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed this broadcast. And tonight's broadcast of high school athletics on Houston Sports Live is copyrighted for the private use of our audience only. Any retransmission or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Houston Sports Live is strictly prohibited. Once again, on behalf of Houston Sports Live, Jordan Smith, and myself, Scott Matthiesen, thank you. We hope to see you again tomorrow night. Have a great night. God bless.